G'day, mate. Welcome back. This is lesson 10. We are going to be applying fundamental concepts to two social institutions of our choice. But because we're overachievers in this class, what we're also going to do, which I know you're so pumped for, I'm so excited, is we're also going to apply the additional course concepts to each of these social institutions as well. Look guys, I'm going to be honest, I had to pause the video there. I can't even remember what I was saying. Okay, my dog, Bondi. Do you want to meet him? Bondi. Here he comes. He just did a vomit. Poor boy. Can you say hi, Bondi? Whoop. Good buddy. You good boy? Isn't he a good boy? Yeah. He's just a bit sick. Anyway, it took me by surprise, so I just thought I'd check in with the old boy. Alright. Anyway, so I can't even remember what I was saying before because he was kind of, what's that word? Reaching. Anyway. So I'm just going to start again. Welcome to lesson 10. To lesson 10. The old boy won't leave us alone now. He's kind of he's here for the duration of the video. Anyway, so we're going to be applying oh, that's right. We're overachievers. So we're going to be doing it to two different social institutions. Now we get the choice here. We're going to apply it to what did I write? School, and then you get to choose the next one, right? You get to choose. I don't care which one you do next. We're doing family. We're doing school. Bondi, you really killed me on my mojo. We're doing school, and this is how it's going to work. So we know what the fundamental and additional concepts are because we're pros and we're rote learning and overlearning those concepts so they become second nature to us. However, it's good to apply them to different social institutions as that's kind of really what we're looking at in depth. The real importance to why it's a good idea to apply concepts to different syllabus dot points, which we're looking at right now, is that in your HSC there are different questions that you will be asked, okay? And typically they will have a syllabus dot point as a reference point, but then they will throw in a concept randomly to try and trick you up, okay? I'll give you an example. So here's an example, right? This is 2021 HSC. The question is now you guys haven't done this topic, but I'm just trying to prove my point, right? So to what extent has empowerment influenced social change in one country you have studied, okay? The syllabus dot point is this one, right here. And we can see this reflected in the syllabus where we have a focus study, we study a specific country, and we have to examine the impact of continuity and change, okay? So there's the syllabus dot point link. However, nowhere in this dot point does it mention the word empowerment. In fact, it doesn't mention empowerment in the specific explicit dot point in this section whatsoever. However, where empowerment does feature is right here in the related course study concepts, right? So they can chuck a concept and mix it in with a dot point to create a question for you. And that, my friends, is where this lesson is very important in showing you and training you how to do that, because we've got to train how we play, right? I know you're only in year 11, HSC's ages away, doesn't matter, we train how we play. So that's why it's really important to be able to apply concepts to syllabus dot points, which is what we're going to do now. So we're going to apply these to social institutions. So the first activity I want you to do is a bit of a revision activity. I want you to tell me what the fundamental concepts are. I've given you a little hint, I've started off with you. And the other thing, once you've done that, is I think before you start this activity, it is a really good idea to revisit your concept cards and remind yourself of the core definitions of each concept, okay? Because this is absolutely vital in applying them and making sure you apply them properly. Because when I mark your work for this lesson, I'm going to be looking for the language of the concept definition within the response that you have written. So that is going to show me your really deep understanding of that concept, and it's also really going to guide you and give you ideas on what you can write about. Again, I really reckon you work with a peer for this lesson. And for a really super comprehensive definition, you can always check the syllabus glossary if you want again, but I think your concept cards are going to be enough for you here, okay? So I want you to tell me how person, society, environment, and time, I mean, I've given you the answers for these concepts anyway. I want you to tell me how they all interact to affect school, okay? And then I would like you to do the same thing but apply the additional course concepts as part of it again there as well. Okay, so I've done one example here for you with persons. So within school, each person performs a certain function based on their social status and expectations of their role. So for example, a teacher's responsibility at school is to educate students. Parents' responsibility, is to encourage their children to value and attend school and pay for certain school fees if it's an excursion or something. Public education, most of it's free, bless. And a student's job is to learn and work, right? And, you know, foster a passion for lifelong learning and all that other good stuff. A list of the persons involved in students are students, head teachers, deputy principals, etc., etc., etc. So I've really gone into a lot of detail about how the concept of persons relates to schools. Okay? If I was then to talk about, let's say, culture, I understand the definition of culture to be our core beliefs and values and expectations of behaviour. So I might take that concept and apply it to school. What's school's core belief and values? You know, is it to educate future citizens to ensure a productive and informed society, right? What are the sort of behavioural expectations that culture places upon students? How should a student act? How should a teacher act? How should parents act? There's so many different avenues and lenses that you can go down. There's no right, or well, there is kind of right answers, but there's no limitations, I guess, on the sorts of things that you could write about and introduce. You know, if we talk about the concept of time at school, you have things like timetables, you've got exams that are run by that sort of thing, school hours, all that sort of stuff. You know, the time changes on a certain day of the week. So you can see how time, you know, you're in year 7 for a certain amount of time, then year 8, year 9, year 10, etc. So you can really see how that can change, how the concept of time is related to school. And I want you to do similar with power, authority, etc. I've done authority for you with this school as well. And yeah, so I want you to apply all then. Once you have done that, what I would like you to do is then do the same activity, because we've got to apply it to 2 of the following here. I want you to pick your own. So you can pick the family as another social institution. You can pick the media if you wish, or I think it would be kind of fun if you pick a group that you belong to, right? So let's say you work at a certain business or whatever, or it might be the workplace. You might want to do the workplace as a social institution. If you play soccer and you're part of a local sporting institution, who are the persons that make up of that? What kind of elements of society influence? What's the culture and ethos of the club that you represent? You know, what type of environment do you play in? Is it a summer or winter sport? You know, gender, is it a mixed gender comp or is it single sex comp? Like, what's the interactions between that? So I think it would be really cool if you can pick a certain subgroup that you belong to, whether it's a workplace like a sporting club, if you do any extracurricular activities outside of school, like dancing or acting or anything like gym, whatever it is. I want you to try and like debrief it and answer it based on that group you belong to. If you can't think of anything and you're really stuck, then maybe divert to media or family there and apply all those concepts there again. Again, when I check your work, I'm going to be looking really closely at how you've used the definition and shown your understanding of that throughout your writing. If you are stuck, please come and see me, okay? Yes, it's an online class. Yes, you can pause, rewind, and listen to me say and explain something again, which is really good, but sometimes you just need that face-to-face interaction. And that's why we do have our morning classes, but you can still see me on any of your study periods, not free periods, if you need an extra helping hand, and it's okay to ask for help, okay? Okay, I'd rather you get it right than just wing it and it be total gobbledygook, right? Please do that. Bonus points if you have room at the end here on this blank space. I would love you to draw an image that is inclusive of as many course concepts here as you can. So let's say you talk about a sporting club that you're part of. I want you to draw a picture or paint a picture or set a scene for me, and I want you to try and incorporate all the fundamental and additional course concepts within that image. That's a little fun bonus challenge extension if you want to take up on it. And then I'll try and guess, and I'll try to annotate it, and see where I can see all these concepts. Okay, so try and draw that. In fact, we're going to make that an activity. Let's do it. It is mandatory now. So write this: draw out a picture of your chosen social institution and incorporate as many fundamental and additional course concepts as you can below. Beautiful. How fun does that sound? So let's do that. That's this week's lesson, or this lesson for lesson 10. Thank you very much.